Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thanks for joining us. My name is Johnny Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. Tom Fitzpatrick was supposed to join us, but we have some technical difficulties, so I'll be doing everything by myself. We'll be talking today about supercharged business intelligence reporting in AI with next generation analytics for Acumatica. Again, my name is Johnny Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. I was a software engineer in my early career. I became a business person, and for the past 20 plus years, I've been helping organizations develop and nurture a data-driven culture, helping companies with better decision support systems. We've been working with Acumatica since 2017 as a ERP with better, reporting. So it's been 8 years or so. And if you're here primarily is because at the end of the day, you are interested in developing and nurturing a data-driven culture. Acumatica is amazing as a platform that has a lot of reporting tools to capture the data, to automate business transactions. And the question is if or when you need to enhance it with a business intelligence platform to develop the data-driven culture. So we'll talk about this whole use case and when BI is the right fit. So before we start, Acumatica has one of the most comprehensive set of reporting KPI dashboard tools out there among other ERPs. So be sure you're leveraging the most that you get out of Acumatica. The main reason here is when and why you should invest in a business intelligence platform like DataSelf. So let me talk first about the why, and then we'll talk about the when. So if you as an organization or as a person involved in organizations that are developing and nurturing a data-driven culture, I guarantee you in your journey, BI is in your journey. All of these we call OLTP systems, online transaction processing systems like, ERPs, CRM, payroll, like Acumatica, competing products, CRM and whatnot. All of them, they have certain reporting capabilities that are amazing if you are, with a certain level of sophistication. But the data-driven culture usually goes beyond those limitations, and it's not a matter of if you need BI, but when you'll need BI. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on, when BI becomes important for you to invest in it. So let's talk about the when, because you will need it eventually. So when should you look into BI? I'm going to give two before BI use cases, just to give some examples, tangible examples. One of the companies that became our client many, many years ago, when they're knocking on our door, one of the main reporting challenges was inventory planning. Pretty much they could only do inventory planning on Wednesdays. That was it. On Wednesdays, the business analyst would do only inventory planning reporting. She would export information out of the ERP system into Excel, into other systems, manipulate, make adjustments, clean it, organize it, validate it. And, Excel sometimes would crash. She was telling that on a good day, on a good Wednesday, this would take 4 or 5 hours of her time. Everything would be good. But most Wednesdays were not good Wednesdays. So she said more often than not, it would take the whole Wednesday. And many times would bleed into many, many other days. When she would send the report eventually finalized, people would dispute the numbers. And sometimes there were mistakes that she had to fix. Sometimes the dispute was incorrect, but it would take a lot of time to double check, validate, did I make a mistake? Are they incorrect? So it was a nightmare. Management obviously is super frustrated, but they didn't know better. It is what it is. So they were just frustrated, but it is what it is. And the business analyst was spending a ton of her time with mechanical inventory planning reporting. So that's one use case. We'll talk later what happened after DataSelf. The second use case, another company also many, many years ago, when they knocked on our door, they said they had a very complicated sales commission process. It was a nightmare as well. They could only calculate commission next month for the per month. It was taking full 5 days of a business analyst to come up with the numbers so they could pay the commission. we were kind of flying blind throughout the month, and it was time consuming and very expensive. So they told us, please, can you automate it? We'll talk about these two business use cases down below, but these are some examples of pain points that companies hit, in then BI is a solution, and quite often the solution. Just summarizing a little higher level, what kind of pains that means you are hitting the limitation of your Acumatica and other systems. If you are a decision maker, the very common pain is slow reports. Slow reports means I can only see them on Wednesday or only at the end of the month. You have to wait for the report to be built by someone else. That's not good. It's a frustration, and BI can solve. The other problem about slow is you have the report and you need to refresh it now, and you press the refresh button, and the circle of death takes longer than 10 seconds, maybe minutes, maybe hours. That's also slow reports, and BI can solve that slow report running time. The other problem is just ad hoc analysis. As a decision maker, you get your reports, you see some numbers that sounds fishy or is too good to be true. Why is that happening? If you cannot figure it out by yourself right there, that time, that means you don't have extensive ad hoc analysis at your fingertips, and you need BI. And the third also is what KPIs should be paying attention to. You probably have a bunch of KPIs right now, reports and dashboards. Are you missing some? How important are they? And pretty much BI can bring you a bigger breadth and depth of KPIs to be sure you're tackling all the key performance indicators, the good and the bad ones, the good and bad things that are happening, and you need to be sure they are all on your radar. So these are the challenges that if you're hitting any of them and causing pain, BI usually is the solution. If you're a business analyst, then these are the pains, like too much work, too much mechanical work. Usually business analysts, they know the business, they know the data in the Acumatica and other systems, they know the reporting tools. And a lot of their time is not analyzing, it's just groundwork, getting the data, manipulating. And so if you're spending too much time with groundwork and not enough with analyzing, it's too labor intensive. BI can solve and automate the mechanical part of the work. If you have too many GIs, or if you have too many Excel, and it becomes what we call the Excel hell or GI hell, probably you're hitting the limitations of Acumatica, and BI is the solution. Too much data in Acumatica or any other system, and it's taking a long time to run your reports. BI is the solution to your problem. If you have to consolidate data across multiple modules, Acumatica modules, or you have multi-company, multiple Acumatica instances, or you need to consolidate Acumatica with other ERPs, any kind of data silo consolidation, BI can help. And data governance, you need to be sure that only the right people can access the right information at the right time, and that can be challenging. Well, BI has a solution, amazing solution for that. So those two, decision makers and business analysts pain points at the high level is typically, if you have any of these bullet points or a few of them or all of them, most likely it is the time to invest in BI. I'm going to show you, and there are many BI solutions out there. DataSelf is part of the Acumatica price list. So we are pretty much the only, or the main, not the only, the certified and recommended by Acumatica as a data warehousing analytics platform. On the far left of this diagram, I'm putting all of your data sources, Acumatica, payroll, ADP, paycheck, whatever it is. If you have e-commerce, if you have Google Sheets, Excel sheets, Salesforce, it doesn't matter. All of those systems are on the far left. What DataSelf brings as a way to supercharge your business intelligence is, first of all, we have this box with the data warehousing, modeling, reports, and AI. What about it? Step number one of the DataSelf offer is the ETL Plus. ETL means extraction, transformation, and loading. Is a AI-powered, no-code, low-code, full-code way to get your Acumatica data in the cloud or on-premises, doesn't matter where it is, in any of your data sources, into a robust data warehouse in SQL Server, Can be your SQL server, can be in your cloud, in your on-premises, can be in our cloud, is a SQL server somewhere. In DataSelf will allow you to get all of your data from all of your silos easily and quickly into your data warehouse. So that's one part of our solution, ETL plus. The second step is what we call the DFT plus. DFT means dimension, fact, and time modeling. It's taking your Acumatica data, your payroll data, your e-commerce platform data, and model into a structure that will make reporting easier, faster, and intuitive. In the next two slides is about the DFT, and they're fairly technical. So if you're not technical, be patient, but we'll get over the two slides fairly quickly. So first of all, what the DFT plus does is convert your raw data from Acumatica into what's called star schemas. Star schemas is taking your facts, like say your invoices, your GL transactions, your project accounting, your inventory, your payroll, anything, put in the middle, and then around put the ways to aggregate your data. If you're looking at sales, your dimensions, the dimension of how you aggregate, you're going to be your customer, your salespeople, ship to territory. So around you have the dimensions, including the T for time. How do you analyze things based on a time basis? It's going to be yearly, quarterly, by month, by fiscal period, by week, by day, by hour. Any kind of time bucketing is part of the T modeling. Anyhow, star schema is very popular. Probably you're already aware of this, but it's an amazing and critical way to properly get a BI doing the magic of easy reporting for decision makers. Now, what comes next is an amazing new technology that some of you probably are not aware of and can be a little overwhelming at first, so don't freak out, but is the galaxy schema. If you have the star schema, what is a galaxy schema? Well, the galaxy schema is when you put all of your transactions, your facts in the middle, and you put around it the dimensions that are usually shared among many of your facts. What is this and why I need this? Let me tell the use case. Galaxy schemas have been around as a concept for decades, I think 2 decades. It's a well-established theory that only in the last 5 years finally became reality. What about it? Well, let me give a use case. If you are, let's say, a distribution manufacturing company, you got a prospect that knocks on your door, is a lead on your CRM, then they become interested, you got an opportunity, they eventually make a contract with you, you get a sales order, that eventually you ship the product, that becomes an invoice, becomes a receivable, becomes a P&L, payment or, sale. Today, if you want to see all of these different data points from the lead all the way to the P&L, if you need to see everything in a single report, it's pretty much impossible without extensive manual intervention to glue the pieces together. That's the problem. And the solution is the galaxy schema. The galaxy schema, you can have all your transactions together in a single thing, in a single schema, where the DFT plus is gluing all the pieces. And with the galaxy schema, you can have a report that shows all of these different data points in a single report with 0 human transaction. In our galaxy schema, is plug and play into Acumatica and many other systems. I know it's very technical. If you got it, you're intrigued, call us, we can talk about it, but it's an amazing new technology that solves so many different use cases that in the past were impossible without extensive human intervention. Welcome to the galaxy schemas. All right. Thank you for your patience talking about tech stuff. Now we will talk about the ETL plus and the DFT plus. That's our technology. That's our intellectual property. How do you see data in DataSelf? Well, we use amazing, what I call lipsticks. Lipstick is the presentation, is the data platform where you see the information. And we support many lipsticks, but Power BI, Excel, Microsoft Fabric, and Tableau are the most popular, by far the most popular. We also support Click, ClickView, Domo, Looker, and some others, but most of the Acumatica clients, they fall into one or a few of these options. And we all have an amazing integration with all of these vendors. They are an amazing lipsticks. When you feed them with the ETL Plus and the DFT Plus. They shine really, really well. Now we also have the KPI Plus functionality. And the KPI Plus is what you see when you open your reports in Tableau, Power BI, and Excel. Let me talk about what the KPI Plus is. This slide is a little thick, but depending on your industry, depending on what modules you have in Acumatica and other systems, depending on your role or what investment you want to do in your BI, you can have we provide up to 8,000 customizable KPIs, reports, and dashboards. Primarily, they're focused on Power BI and Tableau. They work pretty much the same way with both of these tools. If you want to see the complete list of our 8,000, you take a picture of this QR code, and you see the list is a little bit overwhelming. It's a lot, which is good news. It's a lot. The bad news is it's a lot, right? But you have a lot of KPIs right there. We'll talk about them later. But I encourage you to actually take a picture of this QR code because it goes to a page that has the about 40 most popular KPIs out of 8,000. There's about 40 that we have listed here, and we have 2-minute videos for each one of them, talking about the use case and how they work. So feel free to learn about the KPI Plus reports and dashboards available from DataSelf. Now, when you put all these pieces together, at the end of the day, business users will have actionable insights out of the DataSelf BI solution. This whole platform is deployed to Acumatica in a matter of hours. So plug and play, you choose the modules, GL, P&L, balance sheet, AR, AP, inventory, cash flow, sales order, project accounting, field service, CRM opportunity. There's a lot of things that plug and play. So deployment is fairly straightforward to get the out-of-the-box up and running. All of the components, the backend, the ETL, the data warehousing, and whatever lipstick you chose, there's a lot of AI. I'm going to show them in a little bit. And that's how DataSelf supercharges business intelligence. If you don't go with DataSelf and you decide to leverage these amazing platforms, usually going to take you months or years to build a fraction of what we can give you in hours as a starting point. Amazingly powerful, and actually our price does not break the bank. And we'll talk about pricing in a minute. All right. So what are the benefits if you invest in, or when you invest in DataSelf? If you're a decision maker, the benefit is reports will run automatically and will run in seconds. You don't have to wait for Wednesdays. You don't have to wait for the end of the period. You don't have to wait for the end of the quarter. Reports will be automatically calculated on schedule every day. And when you click the report to show the results, you see the results in seconds. So pretty much the idea is automated reports running in seconds when decision makers need anytime, anywhere. Second benefit, when you take a reporting dashboard, if you got the proper user rights, you can extensively slice and dice the data without calling for experts. You can find answers to your questions by yourself without expert assistance. It's amazing, and I'll show some examples. With our framework, using the tools that I told you, there's a lot of AI already giving value today. I'll show some examples. There's a lot of new AI being developed in showing every quarter there's not new AI news, and I'll show a little bit of the AI-powered insights when I do the demo. And finally, what KPIs you should be paying attention to. We have a few. We have 8,000 total, and probably a handful, maybe a few dozen, sometimes hundreds of them can be critical for your business, and maybe some of them you have no idea they're important, and they'll be just there plug and play for you to see how important they can be for your business. So these are the high-level benefits for decision makers. If you're a business analyst, then primarily is all the work that you do that is mechanical, that is boring, that is time-consuming, and is like a waste of your brain. Well, you can teach, or you can do the modeling on the BI solution so you don't have to do the mechanical work, and you can focus your smart human intelligence to know the business, to know your data, to know the BI, to help decision makers find the gems in the data, the threats and opportunities that only you can with your expertise to help decision makers make more informed decisions. So amazing value for taking business analysts to the next level as the value they provide to businesses. If you have a lot of data, in the BI world, we tell the more data, the merrier. We love data because the more data, there's more insights, and BI can handle any data volume. Our largest client that I'm aware with Acumatica, in the busiest days of the year, they ship in a single day more than 500,000 sales order line items. So in a single day, more than 500,000 orders being shipped, and the DataSelf reports running seconds. Powerful consolidation, the Galaxy schema, bring all of your Acumatica data together. If you need to bring data from legacy systems, from external ERPs or point of sale, whatever it is, BI can do a lot of this data consolidation, the heavy lifting as a solution. Security-wise, to be sure the right person will access the right KPIs at the right time. No data leakage. There's a lot of data governance dials for you to control. And again, all the components or most components in the BI offer we bring has AI power, and I'll show some of them in a minute. Having said that, let's jump into the product presentation. I'm going to show a little bit of first of the just plain BI that is amazing value, showing ad hoc analysis, how business people can do ad hoc analysis by themselves. I'll show some of the popular KPIs for different industries that many clients invest in DataSelf because of the KPIs. We'll talk a little bit about the server-side solution. And most importantly, or as importantly, I'll give some AI use cases that today has been helping companies with value, not with fluff, but with value. Having said that, let me just reload my page here to be sure. All right. So I'm starting the product presentation, and I'm going to show initially inside of my demo, as I go through my presentation, some of my reports and dashboards that are BI-based are powered by Tableau and some powered by Power BI. I'm not going to tell when I'm using what. It doesn't matter. All the things that we're showing work in a similar way with both products. What I want to focus is the value that business users get out of the DataSelf BI as part of the Acumatica framework. And I'm going to show with the slicer concept. The slicer concept is a template part of the KPI Plus package that we have. The slicer, we have slicer for revenues, for GL financials, for inventory, project accounting, purchasing, inventory, receivables, opportunities, anything that we have mapped into your Acumatica data, there's a slicer for. The slicer is one of the most popular features in our client base because it allows business users with little training, sometimes zero training, to slice and dice their data extensively without calling for the business analysts. And I'm going to show them an example using the revenue slicer, which is sales slicer in a way, and show the mechanics. So when I log in, and right now, as you can tell, I'm inside of Acumatica, but it's really a DataSelf BI-based reporting inside of Acumatica. The user doesn't even know this is not an Acumatica native report. It doesn't matter. As a business user, when I go to my slicer, let's say I'm a VP of sales, I want to slice and dice my sales. And right now, I'm seeing by customer, all customers, in the total sales across all years. Well, I don't want to see everything. I just want to see last year's sales or revenues, which in my sample database is 2030. So I just pick 2030. No matter how much data you have, instantly, accurately, you see sales in 2030. Well, I don't want to see sales by year. I want to see sales by, month. This comes where the T as time in the DFT plus comes in. How do you want to slice and dice your database on time? Is it year, quarter, month, day, hour? Is it year, fiscal period? Is it weekly? Whatever it is, we build the T's behind the scenes in the server side. As a user, I go to my top level, whatever it is. When I see a plus, I click the plus to drill down. In this case, I'm going from year to the fiscal period in a single click. So right now I'm seeing in 2030 for all the periods, the total sales by customer. Well, I don't want to see all the periods. I only want to see a few. Super easy. You can go and apply in this case, only 3 months. And right now I'm seeing sales by customer in 3 months. Super easy. Now, well, actually, I don't want to see sales by customer. I want to slice and dice by different, dimensions. The D's as dimension. Well, that's what the slicers are for. When I open the slicer, these are the segments pre-configured out of the box, out of Acumatica. But you, as a business analyst, can learn how to customize this, and you can add an unlimited number of custom fields or optional fields to this list. Whatever you want, whatever business people want, you just add to the slicers. Once you do it as a salesperson, as a business person, you just pick and choose. I'm going to choose salesperson. And then the report instantly and accurately will change from whatever it was, now showing sales by salesperson. Super easy. Okay, cool. Well, I want to break it down in more detail. Well, again, I can put the mouse over, I see a drill down, I click the plus signal, I go to the next column. So I'm drilling from salesperson to customer. Okay, that was what I wanted. I don't need to change the slicer. I want to drill down again, click plus again. I go to the next column and I pick anything else that I want. As you can tell, it's very simple to expand and pick and choose from the slicer, and the tool instantly, accurately renders the solution. I'm looking at sales matches. What if I want to see something else? I can go over here. Right now, I only see sales. I can change to something else, or maybe I want to put more than one measure, maybe 5, 10 measures. You just pick and choose, and the tool will instantly and accurately answer the question. If you don't use this BI and you're trying to do this in Acumatica, almost every click that I did here might require a separate GI and a separate export and a separate report, and it's very time consuming to slice and dice your data compared to what I just did. And that's why the slicer across, again, revenues, financials, inventory, whatnot, why they're so powerful and so popular. People need to slice and dice their data. They need to do it anytime, anywhere without calling for assistance. And the slicer is a template that empowers decision makers. All right, so that's the first example. The next example I'm going to show is a flashy and a little busy dashboard. So this is more the kind of the BI charts and whatnot. In this dashboard is also part of the 8,000. Is about variances this period versus prior period. I'm looking the year-over-year variances. This could be quarter-over-quarter variances, maybe this quarter versus the last quarter, or this quarter versus the same quarter last year. This is part of the T. How do you want to use time to analyze your metrics? You can have any kind of T's to slice and dice it. This example, I'm looking at the year-over-year. So you pick this year, you pick the periods. In this case, I'm looking year-to-date from period 1 through 9. And this template, which is customizable, of course, is showing total this year, total last year, in this case is year to date, in the variances. And then it's also break down, in this case, by period. So dark blue this year, light blue last year, by geography, bigger bubbles, bigger revenue, and the color is growing or declining. And then customer and products, I see last year, this year, in the variances. So the dashboard at first is a fancy, little elaborate, kind of busy dashboard, but most importantly, how business users make informed decisions on dashboards. How can they slice and dice it? Because usually that's what they need, is to slice and dice it. I'm going to show an example. I come over here, look at the dashboard. Yeah, it looks great, growing a lot. I'm happy. I go to my territory. I look at Texas growing 11%. Oh, what's happening in Texas? I click Texas, and now the dashboard changes to only show Texas information. In Acumatica, when I click something, I go to GI. In DataSelf, no, you're just still staying at the high level. And now I filter everything to show Texas, totals, trend analysis, customers, and products. When you look at my customers in Texas, even though I'm growing quite a bit, this customer is declining a lot in sales. Maybe unless I could see this data point at this level, I would never figure it out unless I would be digging into the details and GIs to figure that out. With the BI, quickly I saw something is wrong with this customer. What about it? I click this customer. Now, again, the dashboard changes for taxes for this customer, total, trend analysis, and what the items that I'm selling or service to this customer. I can sort things easily here. So I sort by the variance. I pick, let's say, a few of these items. And then now, maybe I want to see a GI look and feel. I click show details. And now I see a GI look and feel showing all the sales last year and this year for this customer in Texas for the items are declining. And then I can make more informed decisions. This example, I did a drill down from the top. I sliced and diced all the way to the bottom. And from here, because of the Galaxy schema, I can drill across. I could see, is this client paying the bills? Is this client have open sales orders that maybe they're not being fulfilled that because I don't have inventory on hand? Being able to drill down and drill across to different data sets is only possible when you're using BI and using the Galaxy schema to link all of your data. All right, so that's the second example. Let me move along. I'm going to move along a little faster now. I'm going to show a few more examples of the KPIs available out of the box, out of Acumatica. The cash flow projection is also a fairly popular dashboard in our client base. Pretty much it takes the cash on hand today, which is these bars here. It brings the bars going up as inbound money, receivables and sales order, bars going up. In bars going down is money going out as a P in payroll. So then it plots the black line, which is the actual projection of your cash flow. Like with any report, if you see some outliers that why this is too big or too small, let's say this AP is too high here, what's happening? I click this bar, and on the right where all the details were, when I click this bar, it only shows in this case I chose a yellow bar. What are the AP transactions that particular day, how much with the customers and the vendors and what's happening with that day. So very interactive cash flow projection, where you can also do what if scenarios and whatnot. So cash flow projection also pretty popular. Inventory projection planning also getting very popular among many clients using Acumatica. Primarily the idea is, take your items, you look at what you have on hand today, what's coming in as purchase order or work order or a combination of both, what's going out as sales order or sales projection, and look at your safety stock. If you're seeing red moving forward, meaning you're going to run out of inventory. If you see black, you are good. And you can even put, some other color if you're going to be overstocking. The idea is the heavy duty Excel manipulation that is expensive, or using some other expensive tool that can be doing inventory planning sometimes, many times, the DataSelf BI, the DataSelf Analytics inventory planning template is an amazing solution to solve those problems. I'm going to show two more examples. If you are in construction, professional services, field services, many times you need to do WIP reporting in all the slice and dicing and reports that I showed you before, being fast, being automated. You can do with them in the BI. And if you're managing projects and you want to see Gantt chart, you can also easily do Gantt chart in BI and slice and dice it extensively. So this is a little bit of an overview of probably 7, 8 out of 8,000 KPIs. These are some of the popular ones. What I'm going to show you now or next is the AI functionality. And before I start showing you a little bit of high-level AI thoughts, first of all, AI right now is all over the place. It is a little bit like, oh my God, it's another AI. What is it? This? Oh my God! And it's kind of a little bit overwhelming. It's scary. It is exciting. And nobody knows exactly in which direction it's going. So it's a little bit chaotic. Welcome to our world, right? It's pretty chaotic. But there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype, a lot of overpromised and under-delivered value. Yes. DataSelf, and me personally, I like to focus on what is practical, what is delivering value, and how we can help. So I'm going to focus on that little angle of the AI that we're seeing that being practical in delivering value, and I'll give you the context of when and how some companies are using the AI I'm going to show you. That's the angle of this conversation. And before I show another comment is, we have a very small number of customers that are currently actively using AI and happy with it. So there's a small customers doing it. There's another chunk, not very big, but another chunk that are experimenting with it to see how it's going to help. So some people are experimenting with it, but we have a much bigger chunk, I would say probably 70% or a little bit more of the customers that are not touching AI yet, as far as we know. So you might be in any of these three buckets, and welcome, be comfy in any of the three buckets. There's a big chunk of people waiting to see what's happening. Some people experimenting, some people are using happily. If you are interested in learning more about the AI beyond the little I'm going to cover today, give us a call. We can talk what you're looking for, where you want to go, and we can give you our best assessment of how hopefully we can help move in that direction. Having said that, now we're going to go into three different use cases of AI that today are providing value. So let me start, first of all, going here and go into this AI here. So this first AI is really focused for business users. So you don't need to be any technical. You can be complete a business person. And with the new AI version that we're getting out of, Microsoft and Salesforce / Tableau, one of the good news is, in the past, you could only use English to ask questions. Now with the latest, you can use any language, and it's becoming better and more effective. So it's plain natural language where you ask the question, the AI will look at your data and return insights from your data in a safe environment. That's the first use case that some of our clients are taking advantage of. I'm going to show an example. I'm going to come over here and I just ask a question like I asked for ChatGPT. Show me and it's my data, so it's my top 5 items by sales. I just ask the question. The tool will be my data, is going to try to understand my question and render the answer instantly and accurately. So right here gave me the top 5 item by sales from my own data. Cool, awesome. What about, I want to see this by ship to state. So I just continued with the question. Now I put, by ship to state. I press enter. In the tool, sometimes will give you something super fun. Like in this case, the tool saw, hey, you're asking for a geography component, maybe you want to see on a map. Then boom, right there on a map, where the size of the bubbles are the total sales for that particular state. And the slices are based on the top items. So pretty cool natural language result. Maybe I don't like charts. I'm a person that likes to see numbers by the penny. You can just say, show me whatever you want on a table. So you're just writing plain English or Spanish, whatever the language you speak. And you press enter, and the tool will take whatever you had in the prior view and put into a tabular format. And if you want to export this data into Excel, whatever, you usually export to Excel. All of these fancy tools, I call the fancy lipsticks, like Power BI, Tableau, Domo, Looker, Click. They all have some kind of natural language functionality in them that provides this kind of value, and it's amazing. Caveat, big caveat, and why so many companies are not yet investing in AI for this purpose, KPI analysis. All of them tell you, my AI might be hallucinating. Always be sure that what you're looking at is accurate. You're right there, you kill it. Because if the business person cannot smell fish with the answer, if the business person cannot smell that this information is incorrect, that person should not be having KPI with AI. But if the business person can actually see and say, yeah, this looks about right, great. If you can make this kind of analysis on the fly and trust the AI, you will know when to trust and you'll know when to, this doesn't look right. Then AI can help a lot. The reality is a lot of business people don't have this kind of thing, and if you cannot, you should not be using AI. And that's one of the limitations of AI for now, is the number of people that can actually get AI to help with KPI analysis limited to those people who can actually smell when the AI is hallucinating. But when you can, it's amazing. You can get a lot of KPIs using natural language. That's the one use case for business users. The next use case is a lot more powerful, and you need to be more data savvy. So it's not for all business users. It's not. You need to be a bit more technical. You don't need to be a business analyst, and you can still be a CEO, CFO, CEO, VP of sales. If you are a little bit data driven, I'm going to show you the next level. I'm going to be showing the Tableau functionality. The Power BI has an equivalent one. I like the Tableau in this example a little better. It shows better in a demo. Doesn't matter. You're going to see how powerful this is. And again, a little bit more technical. I'm going to create a new KPI. Tableau calls new metric. So click new. You select where you want to analyze. I'm going to choose my sales. Could be financials. Could be any kind of data. So I'm choosing my sales analysis. You give a name. I'm going to call monthly sales. Just a name, alias. Then you select what measure do you want to keep track, the AI to keep track of. Could be sales, could be quantity sold, gross profit. In my example, I'm going to choose just the plain sales. And then you can choose how you want to aggregate, whatnot, how you want to analyze by time. So what field is going to slice and dice by time. I'm going to choose invoice date. I'm going to skip a bunch of parameters here, just give you the most important ones. And as you keep on building, you start to see the results here. Here comes an important one: how you want to slice your metric by customer, by item. You just pick and choose a bunch of your dimensions for analysis. You just pick and choose. Very straightforward. It's more complicated, but you just pick and choose. You click next. There's a lot of options. I'm not going to go to all the options. It's amazing how many options there are. You can put goals. I'm not going to go into goals for now. But here comes some fun part, very fun part. If the value of your metric, in this case is sales, goes up, is it neutral? Is it favorable or unfavorable? Well, sales is up, is favorable. So I'm going to choose favorable. And I'm going to stop right now going to this wizard with a lot of options to show the power. It is impressive if you can smell when it fails. But look on the right. Right now, it told me, compared to I didn't ask this question at all, but the tool told me, compared to last month, sales has increased. Out of your sales, your customers, 9 increased. Here they are, and here they are on a map, on a chart. The same information for the items. Out of all the items, 22 increased. These are the best ones. Out of salespeople, the same thing. And they give me more. If you scroll down, out of your customers, these ones are decreasing. There's 10 decreasing. These are the biggest decline by item. I did not ask the question, but the tool thought that I could want to see that. And that's the power of the AI. And if the tool didn't give me a perspective that I wanted to, I can use natural language query to tell, what about something else? And then the tool will add that widget to your portal. And now the tool will automatically keep on refreshing. Every time you open this pulse, you'll see that KPI, that metric being analyzed automatically. Again, if you can smell when the tool fails or is fishy, this is amazingly powerful, and it's going to be giving you some insights that otherwise you would have to mentally think, what I want to see today. Well, the AI will give you a bunch of ideas that might be important to your business. So this is the second use case. The last, I'm showing both of these use cases on the front end for the sales, for the business person, then for the more elaborate business person with kind of flavor of business analyst. The last example I'm going to show a little bit on the back end, and it's actually just a slide on my PowerPoint. This is on the ETL plus modeling. And the ETL plus modeling, this is really for business analysts, is the idea that you can have all of your data in the data warehouse. I'm having here an example where you're blending 2 different ERPs, Acumatica with a Sage ERP. Let's say that you're going to this consolidation of 2 different ERP systems for reporting. And then you can write in plain English, actually can be any language, combine customer lists from Acumatica and Sage, or combine my GL accounts, or combine my inventory or my project accounting people. You ask in English, you press enter, and the tool will look at the modeling, the DFT modeling done in Acumatica, the DFT done in Sage, and it will write the SQL statements so you as a business analyst don't have to write everything from scratch. We'll check the keys, the primary keys, the foreign keys, the unions, the links is going to do the heavy lifting. On average, about 80% of the modeling, if the tool can do, will do in seconds. You as a business analyst, knowing the business, knowing the tools, will still have some work to do, but it's amazing how powerful the backend is. And because this part of the tool is for business analysts, typically this is ready for everyone, because business analysts usually can smell when the AI is hallucinating and fixing it. So this AI is a lot safer to use because it's given to people who are already data-driven, they're already pretty sophisticated, and they can easily smell when the AI hallucinates. This is a safe AI that is ready to be used for any company. Well, I'm going to stop at that. There's a lot more, but I'll stop at that. Let's move on. So this was the product presentation. I have another 5 minutes to cover here. I'm going to go a little bit over my schedule. It was supposed to be 45 minutes, so sorry about that. I talked about 2 use cases before that when they knock on our door, the inventory planning in the sales commission, what happened after DataSelf? So let's talk about that. For the first customer with the inventory planning that only on Wednesday, a lot of work, very time consuming, very frustrating. Well, the inventory planning now is automatically calculated daily. So the business analyst has a lot more free time to do what business analysts can do. Completely automated, all the mechanical parts automated. They are focusing now their time in analyzing inventory planning, not the crunching of the numbers. And management is extremely happy because they can do extensive ad hoc analysis with inventory planning. Sometimes there's a new order coming that is not there yet. They can check the inventory planning. Can we fulfill the order? And if not, can I tell the person, in my inventory planning to start ordering more things now? So they can do that. Or an order is going to be canceled. We're going to have leftovers. So management can be a lot more proactive because it can slice and dice their inventory planning DataSelf, and before it was impossible. Very happy client. Number 2 is a very interesting story. So commission calculation was taking 5 days every month to complete. Now it's completely automated daily. They see the commission growing throughout the month. At the end of the month, when the month closes, they have the numbers. They just pay the checks, but they have visibility across the whole month of how commission is going. But most importantly, a couple of weeks after we completed the project, which took 3 months to automate, commission calculation was really a beast. The CFO calls me and tells me, Johnny, now that the commission calculation has been automated, I decided to look at the out-of-the-box solution from DataSelf that was ready 3 months ago. And in my first half an hour looking at your KPIs, his KPIs using our DFT modeling, he said that he found a KPI showing some major issues in their inventory management. And he told me, Johnny, if I had seen this report on day 1, 3 months ago, I would have told you, forget commission calculation. We have bigger fish to fry. So the unknown that the KPI revealed was more important than the known commission calculation complexity. And he told me, tell your next prospects how powerful this KPI library is, because sometimes your blind spots can be as important or more important than the things that you're monitoring. And that's part of the power of the DataSelf offer, the KPI library for you to look and find those blind spots. Price-wise, so DataSelf is ordered through the Acumatica system. So if you need to order DataSelf, you call actually Acumatica or your Acumatica VAR. We have 3 editions: Essentials for small companies. It starts at $1,000 per month. Pro for mid-sized companies, $2,000 per month. In Enterprise is $5,000 for any company size. Everything that I showed you today is the same thing on Essentials Pro and Enterprise. There are differences between the editions as far as, as data volume, speed of things and whatnot, but overall, everything that I showed you today is available in all the 3 editions, kind of, in a similar format. If you don't need all the DFTs and the KPI plus functionality, you just need the ETL plus to do extraction of Acumatica into your data warehouse or any kind of system. ETL plus starts at $299. These prices are entry-level pricing, and they include the deployment and training. So you don't have to pay extra to deploy and train in DataSelf. Because you're being part of this webinar, we want to thank you for your time. And if you decide to order DataSelf or an additional license from DataSelf, and you order by December the 15th, you got 15% off the first year SaaS of your licenses. So be sure to take advantage of that if you're planning on closing the budget by the end of the calendar year. I only have time for one question because we're running out of time here, and I appreciate that you're sticking around. Let me see if there's any question. Oof, there are questions. Let me open here the portal. Here, question from Mary. In practical terms, how long does it take to deploy DataSelf? As a good question, as I mentioned, the out-of-the-box deployment is done in hours. It's self-service. It's very straightforward. When we deploy the DataSelf solution, it comes pre-mapped to a vanilla Acumatica deployment. And most companies have customized their Acumatica system. So the out-of-the-box is kind of ready out of the box for whatever the vanilla system that you have is. So if you were to see sales by customer, by product, maybe it's ready on day 1. But in practical terms, most companies, when they knock on our door, is because they have sophisticated data needs, and it takes some effort for us or for your team to add more optional fields and change some of the rules that are not vanilla. So I usually tell people that in practical terms, the out-of-the-box are going to be ready today or tomorrow. Whoever of the business people can work with the vanilla, they should start using the system right away. But most users that need things validated, the security set up, all the things properly done, usually takes weeks, 2 to 4 weeks for the regular deployment. So out of the box, ready to go tomorrow for a few users. Sometimes people that are data savvy, they can use the system from the beginning. But most users that need things pretty well digested usually will take a couple of weeks or so. We have more questions, but unfortunately we're running out of time, so I appreciate it. This is being recorded. We're going to make available on YouTube in about a day or so. Most importantly, if you found this informative, or if you have some question about this, will this work for you? Do you want to expand your DataSelf investment? Give us a call. We're here to first and foremost understand what your challenges, your goals are, and see if we can help. If we can help, boy, we are 30-something people, a bunch of data geeks that every day wake up to help our clients. We're passionate about what we do. We really care about our clients, and we're here to help. Please contact us so we can help you decide if we can help your, to supercharge your BI investment with AI and the next generation analytics. Thanks for your time. I hope you have a great day, and looking forward to talking with you all. Thank you.